It finally went down this past week. Aaron Rodgers is officially a Pittsburgh Steeler. I know, man, slow news day, right? But the media's hyping this up. I'm not so sure I agree. This is Gridiron Nation, y'all, and today we're talking UFL Championship and showing love to all the fathers out there, man. So kick back, relax, and crack open a cold one if you're chilling at home, or if you're vibing on your commute, just turn it on up and ride with me, baby. Let's do it.
It's time I get in the game, forget the money and fame. Stay ready, making sure that they'll remember my name. I got a hunger inside, when the numbers are tied, I'ma turn it up a level, never will be denied. I got them back on their heels, about to have me a meal. Not Zeke, but I'ma eat the way I'm seeing the field. Take out the competition, they'll remember the name. The wicked one, I always bring it, got my head in the game. Now it's on, finally went and wrote me a song. We the nation,
What is up, familia? Welcome to the show, man. I am Gabriel Garcia, your host. This is Gridiron Nation Podcast. What are we right now, man? We're like Gridiron Nation 145, right? I lost count after a while, man, because, after not doing the show for a few weeks, I got to get back into it, man. But I am here. What is up, baby? Hope you guys are out there feeling good, living well, and living blessed, man. Blessed to be seeing another Father's Day for some of the daddies out there, some of my fellow fathers. It's kind of a brotherhood. We can all agree on a lot of things, man. We relate to a lot of things when you start talking what it's like to be a dad. So, we're going to get into that a little bit today with Father's Day, just a couple of days away. Also, the UFL Championship is officially here. Renegades are not in it, and that's okay. It's two new teams, so I'm good with this. It's the bottom line is it's not the Stallions. Okay, that's the bottom line. So they're not in this thing. Battlehawks are not in this. I got tired of hearing their fans scream "Gaga" all damn season. So it's good. We're gonna get into that today as well. But as y'all heard on the intro, yes, Aaron Rodgers is a Steeler, and we're gonna talk about that today. Why? I don't know. We got training camps and other things going on, but ain't a lot of other big news coming out. And that's not really, it's big news, I guess. But we'll get into it, man. Steeler fans, how y'all feeling out there about this? Hendo. Well, now, Hendo, how you doing out there, bro? You good with this? I should have shot you a text the minute this thing happened, man. I ain't heard from you, dog. You all right? Last time I talked to Hendo, when there was rumblings about it all going on, about that they were looking at, bringing in Aaron Rodgers. He wasn't too keen on the idea. You know what I mean? And I think because he agrees with me, but I'd like to know what he thinks, man. But what do the rest of you guys think, man? Be sure to hit me up on my socials, Facebook at Gridiron Nation and the number 1. You see the little Facebook icon right there. Or you can find me on X at the number 1 Gridiron Nation. So that's in reverse, at 1 Gridiron Nation. And then, of course, the show is on iHeart. If you happen to be watching this on YouTube and you're just looking to listen to it in your ride to commute to work, whatever you're doing, your workout, there it is, and also available on Spotify, baby. So also my music's on Spotify and iHeart as well. Just letting you know, album just dropped. Get Wicked by the Wicked One. Little shameless plug for you guys right there, man. Yeah. How's y'all's week been, man? I've had I'm a little bit kind of out of it today. I'm a little tired. My schedule got switched up at work this week. We got, if you work in retail, you kind of know what resets or pogs are, planograms, and we're changing up everything and the whole dog food, whatever. But the thing is, if you understand retail, you understand that it can mess with your schedule. And it has with mine. I mean, I think I worked till 4 a.m. the other night, worked till about 1 a.m. last night. Just made myself get up this morning. So I'm a little tired. Okay. I'm a little tired. Actually, I'm really tired, but that's okay. Just when they had lunch, shout out to Angel Gallegos out there. My boy Angel came into town and calls me up. I just happened to be driving to town because I was hungry, and then I was going to come back and do the show. And after he was like, hey, man, where you at? I'm in town. Let's go. And we went to hit up the homies Jeff and Gino over at Deputy Dogs over on El Paseo, man. He wasn't disappointed. I'm never disappointed with those dudes, man. Now I'm a little full. So I'm a little tired. I'm a little full, sleepy, but I'm here. I am here. I'm here this week. I made it this week, boss. I don't have a boss with Gridiron Nation, which is a beautiful thing, but it is you guys, man. You guys, hey, if there's anything you guys want to talk about out there, anything, whether it's movies, music, sports, football, whatever it is. But I'm not going to get into politics, all right? That's the only thing. Politics are one thing I don't really get into, but y'all want to talk about it? Hit me up on the Gmail, Gridiron Nation Podcast at gmail.com, and we will get to it and we'll talk about whatever it is y'all want to talk about. Father's Day is here, finally. I don't know why I say finally. I guess because this is a day that I feel like the fellas, probably the one day of the year that we get our love. You know what I mean? And I don't mean by like our significant others. Like Betsy makes me feel appreciated. The family does. They recognize us as fathers, those of us in the family, like all year round. But I mean, like society in itself. You know what I'm saying? Like it's become a thing where it's like if you're a dad or you're a man, I should say a man, and you show any pride in being a man, that like it's weird. Like people come down on you. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know, man. But hopefully that'll start changing here in the next few years because it's time to start showing love to the fellas. And in this case, most specifically to you, my fellow daddies out there, my fellow fathers. I know a few of you personally that have been following the show for a long time. Of course, my brothers, of course, JP, Angel. We all have had our share of ups and downs as dads. You know what I mean? And we're not perfect, man. We're not perfect, but we learn every day. I'll tell you that much. And so I felt that being that a lot of people, this is the one day that really like society shows us love. And at times, man, it's almost like society, especially social media, is a little grudgingly like, all right, man, happy Father's Day, guys. Yeah, we appreciate you. That's it. You know what I mean? But family, of course, that don't mean nothing about my family. My family always shows love. But so I felt like, you know, I wanted to bring a little humor into Father's Day. Send y'all into the Father's Day weekend on a high note with a little bit of laughter, a little bit of humor from a dad standpoint. So I hit Google and I started looking up stuff, man. And I found a thing that I wasn't sure what I was going to do with the Father's Day segment. And then I was like, this is what I'm going to do. And I want to go through a bunch of quotes from different people, writers, fathers that are celebrities, things like that, and give you some of their funniest quotes, things we can relate to. I was reading through a few of these before, and I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. All right. So, fathers out there, y'all going to relate to this stuff, man. It's some funny stuff. All right. So, we're going to read some of these quotes, and this is how we are going to kick off our Father's Day. All right. Our Father's Day weekend with a little salud and a little laughter because it ain't easy being a dad, fellas. We all know this. It is not easy being a dad. And sometimes we don't get the appreciation mom gets, and sometimes deservedly so. But once in a while, it's nice to get that little, hey, we appreciate you. You know what I mean? So, fellas, daddies out there, I appreciate you. Here's a little bit of a cheers, and let's get into this. Let's laugh at some of these, all right? First one I really want to start with was one that's not in front of me, but it was Ronnie Dangerfield when he says, I remember when I was the one time I was kidnapped, and obviously it's a joke, but he says, I remember when I was once kidnapped as a kid and they set my father an arm and he sent back a letter saying I need more proof. I was like, damn, imagine. Yeah, that's crazy. Here's a good one. This is from Chad Wadsworth. He says, by the time a man realizes that maybe his father was right all along, that man usually has a son who thinks he's wrong. That is how right is that, fellas? Like, because we all know when you're a teenager, you don't listen to nobody. You're like, man, these adults don't know shit, right? And then you become an adult and you're like, okay, man, I was so stupid. I get it now. By the time you're a father, that's when you're like, okay, I get it. I get it. Well, it's a little late because now your kid thinks that you don't know anything. So I totally relate to that quote. Here's one from Ed Asner. Raising kids, is part joy and part guerrilla warfare. Yeah. Yeah, if you got them badass kids, man, straight up, straight up. What else we got? Conan O'Brien. I just taught my kids about taxes by eating 38% of their ice cream. That is called the dad tax. That's the dad tax. I paid for that ice cream. You better kick me down some. Yeah, Lily never has a problem giving me the dad tax. Get her some candy, I get her whatever fries. She's like, here you go, dad. Yeah, yeah. So I'm cool with that. I relate to that. Oh, oh, yeah. Here's one. Ken Jennings says, booking plane tickets for a family trip is a fun little test to see if I still remember all my kids' birthdays and genders. Orale, genders? Come on, bro. The birthday thing. I mean, even, I remember all my kids' birthdays. I'm not always good with birthdays, but dude, bro, genders. I don't know. You got me have bigger issues, but I ain't talking about that. Colin Hanks says, I had to go through more training to drive the car home from the hospital than I did to have a baby for the rest of my life. There is no training for that. There ain't no training for being a father. Nah, man, that's why a lot of us we mess up at times. But if you learn from it though, man, that's your training. Actually, it's like hands-on training. Let's put it that way. For better or worse, man. For better or worse. Straight up. All right, let's keep going, man. Here's a good one. David Frost. It's quoted as saying, having one child makes you a parent. Having two kids makes you a referee. If you got boys, daughters, probably. Or if you had my brothers, straight up, man. I like this one from Ray Romano. Everybody loves Raymond. He says, having children is like living in a frat house. Nobody sleeps, everything's broken, and there's a lot of throwing up. Yeah, and there's a lot of shitting in that house too. Straight up. Diapers and afterwards, man. Mark Ruffalo says, if you're not yelling at your kids, you aren't spending enough time with them. That is the damn truth, though. If you're there, you're spending time with your kids, they're going to do something to make you yell at them. But if you're never yelling at them, that's because, you don't see them enough. So you're like trying to cherish every little moment with them. So I get that. I do. I do. Oh, what else we got here, man? Jim Gaffigan says, being a parent involves an unnecessary amount of fake enthusiasm around little kids' poo being in a toilet. Okay. That's when the kid's all proud showing you, Dad, look what I did. You look at the log and that. That was me. And you do, as a dad, though, I don't know if it's fake pride. You're like, all right, that's nasty, man, but I'm proud of you, son. You know? Let's see. Everybody usually wants to be famous so they can rock some nice jewelry, right? And all of that. Man, I already got a macaroni necklace. That was Dave Chappelle. You damn right. And you know what's crazy? Hey, dads, I mean, am I wrong? Like when your kid gives you something, and I know moms feel the same way. It's just a parent thing. But like when my daughter's making stuff, in class or she's doing her little crafts, and she would come to me and say, Tata, this is for you. I still got like little just scribblings that she was trying to make a picture from when she was 2 years old. You know what I mean? But as a dad, like that has absolutely no. I mean, not as a dad, but outside of being a dad, everybody else, I think is worthless to them. To me, it's like priceless. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of you guys can relate to that. Like when your kid makes you something, it's like, okay, this is I gotta treasure this right here, man, because my baby made this. You know what I mean? I think a lot of you guys can relate to that. Straight up. Straight up. Let's see what else we got. We wondered why when a child laughed, he belonged to daddy, and when he had a sagging diaper that smelled like a landfill, he wants mama. That's Irma Bombeck says that. I expected a mama would say that though. Yeah. John Stewart says fatherhood is great because you can ruin someone from scratch. Damn, I guess, man. Damn. That's brutal, man. Like, come on, man. It's about making it better than what you are. You know what I mean? Not freaking putting. Uh, John Stewart, man. Uh, in the Poindexter says a good father is one whose only reason for putting down a laughing baby is to pick up a crying one. That's dope. That's dope. I dig that. I dig that. Rob Delaney says the worst part about being a parent is when one of your kids farts really loud and you have to pretend that it wasn't cool. No, a real dad's gonna be like, "Oh, damn, I was impressed. Damn, but let me get out the damn room. Warn me next time." Okay. Oh, let's see. Here we go. Jerry Lewis says, when I was a kid, I said to my father one afternoon, "Daddy, will you take me to the zoo?" He answered, "If the zoo wants you, let them come and get you." Yeah, it's like a zoo if you got multiple badass kids in your house, too. You know? Oh, let's see. Jim Gaffigan says, raising kids may be a thankless job with ridiculous hours, but at least the pay sucks. Actually, you got to pay into that to do that job, man. But you know what? I wouldn't change it for a thing in the world, man. Hey, happy Father's Day this weekend, man. Y'all be sure to enjoy yourselves. All right, no matter what you got going on, because as for me, I asked for the day off. I will be working. I will not be working that day. And Betsy was like, sometimes I don't want to cook. Like dads, we make the joke like, oh man, Father's Day, all of a sudden y'all want us to cook. But to be honest, I think most of us like it. It's relaxing for us to be out there with the grill, with your drink, just chilling. You got your music on. And so last couple years I didn't want to cook, but Betsy asked me this year, what do you want to do? Want to go eat? I told her, you know what? No, I think I want to have a cookout this year. We're gonna host a cookout for Father's Day. And we got people coming over. But I did tell her, I do want Andelis though. So we're gonna be going to breakfast at Andelis. The plan is after that, there's a car show up the hill that we're going to be going to, the Father's Day car show, the Sweet Desire. Shout out to Oscar Moreno and his boys, always doing good things in the community. Sweet Desires Car Club. There's a car show out that way, so we're going to be going there. That starts at like 9. So after breakfast, we'll head up there. When it's going to be 105 degrees. Okay, maybe even hotter. So we're going to come back when it starts to get hot, start cooking it up. Hopefully, be ready to eat by 2 o'clock. And yeah, that's what I want to do, man. We're gonna throw some burgers down, some probably some links, some hot dogs, maybe a couple of thin strip steaks. I don't know, some corn, of course, on the grill. And it's gonna be a great day because I'm gonna have my oldies playing. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have my drink in hand. I'm gonna have family here. I'm gonna have friends here. It's gonna be a great day. I'm really looking forward to it. And I hope that every one of you guys that is a father uh enjoys your day. Like just has the dopest freaking chill day that you can. Whatever it is you want to do. I wish that for you guys. And my brother Bobo, I wish you would be here with us for that. But hey, it is, I'm gonna call you anyways. But for all you fellas out there that are dads, man, all I can say is salute. Have a happy Father's Day this Sunday, man. And we're gonna be sure to grill it nice and good. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. That's it for the show. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding because we're going to talk some football today, man. Let's talk some football. Let's start with the UFL Championship that is going down this Saturday. I will be working, so I will not be watching. Maybe I'll probably go back and watch it later on, but I will not be watching it live. So let's just okay. So it's DC Defenders taking on the Michigan Panthers, and I'm totally good with this. I am good with this. Yeah, I know the Renegades didn't make it, but like I said, I wasn't as invested as I was hoping and planning to be this season. Although I do still feel that they underachieved because too many games that they lost very close, just like last year. I thought that, for the Renegades, it took them too many games for the offense to really find its consistency. And I felt that cost them those earlier, games that they lost when the offense couldn't get going. It came back to bite them at the end of the season. You know what I'm saying? So, and then that loss, that late season loss to DC really is what kind of sealed it for DC getting in and not Arlington. So yeah, Renegades are done. All the other teams are done except these are the final two teams standing. And I got to tell you guys, man, Bryce Perkins, quarterback of Michigan, comes in, didn't even start the entire season. I think he played, what was it? Was it 8, 9 games, something like that? And the dude lit it up this year. Mm-hmm. Sorry. Throat was getting a little bit tingly, you know. But it was telling me, come on, man, give me a little hydration up in here. But so I think Bryce Perkins is going to definitely be, as far as Michigan's side of the ball, Michigan's side of this, he's going to be the key player for them. I think he is. 9 touchdowns this year, 2 interceptions. Very good season for him. Michigan is really has ridden off of him and his arm and his legs and their defense making big plays, and so it's going to come down to really him being able to move the ball and making that defense kind of start playing off a little bit, because if you do that, they're running back Tua Taua. I said that right, Tua Taua, who led the league this season with 6 rushing touchdowns. He can be a problem. He can be a problem if they start having to drop that coverage back. Perkins can start getting going through the air, but also wide receiver CIOC Mariner, he's going to be a big key. Leading receiver in the league this season, so that's his favorite target, and he's going to need him to be a reliable target this weekend, man. But we look at the DC side of the ball, and when I talk about the key players, I mean the first player that comes to mind, obviously, is Jordan Ta'amu. I've always liked Jordan Ta'amu. Y'all have heard me say that, or if you ever listen to Hellraiser's podcast, I've always praised the dude. I like him as a quarterback. Is he elite? No, but he doesn't have to be. He is exactly what this team needs him to be. He can make the plays when his arm. This year, he's had to do it a little bit more. He has had to, and he stepped up into the role nicely, man. He was one of the league leaders in passing this year. So Jordan Ta'amu he's a problem through the air this season. He really is, not to mention what he can do with his legs. Every once in a while, he's going to make a bad decision that could cost him. But for the most part, he's pretty reliable. He's almost like what I would call an elite game manager. The way I used to talk about Brock Purdy. Sorry, I was talking about Bryce Perkins. Brock Purdy, that's the same way that I look at Jordan Ta'amu. They've always had a good defense there around him. But this year, he really has stepped up his game. He really has. And he is the front runner for MVP right now, in my opinion, of the league this season. But wide receiver Chris Rowland, 1,100 all-purpose yards. This has definitely got to be a guy that has to have a big game. And, of course, when we look at the defenses, let's look at what the defenses – they're both good, really good defenses. Samson Nakua knows how to make play. I mean, not Samson Nakua, sorry. Kai Nakua be making plays over on the Michigan side, defensive side of the ball. And then that pass rush for DC is nasty, man. They've been nasty all season long. But what are they facing on offense? What these two good defenses, what are they looking at? So let's dive into the numbers just a little bit right here. Starting with DC, overall, their offense, number 1 in the league. That's based off of overall yardage. Obviously, 345 yards per game. Okay, so let's break that down from the pass and the rush. We'll start where they are the best in the leagues. Again, is with the pass game, 246 pass yards. Like I said, Jordan Ta'amu has stepped into the passer's role this season when he's been asked to. He's done nicely. So 246 pass yards per game has them number 1. As far as the running game, ranked number 5 in the league, right in the middle of the pack with just under 100 yards with 98.9 rushing yards per game. It's enough. If Ta'amu's getting it done through the air, that is enough for them to win. If their defense can also make key stops when they have to. You know what I mean? And so, they are number 5 in the league in points per game with 22.5 points per game. So they're right up there. Third down percentage, they are number 3 in the league with 46%. Now, with that said, yes, third in the league, very good. 46% third down percentage. But Michigan, well, they're just a little bit better. They are number 1 in the league with 47%. Man, just over them. That's crazy. That's crazy. Number one in the league, 47% third down percentage. Overall offense is number 2. So they are right behind DC. So these are the 2 top offenses in the league going into this, at least based on the yards per game. 320 yards per game for Michigan. When you look at their pass yards, though, they are number 4 in the league, middle of the pack, with 192 yards per game. Running, though, they are number 2 in the league, 127 yards per game. So, and a lot of that is based on Bryce Perkins and what he can do once he gets outside of the pocket or he runs up a seam in the middle. So this is going to be a little bit of a chess match. You know, the defense, obviously for DC, they are going to have to focus on Bryce Perkins and what he can do. Now, the good thing about what DC can do, because their pass rush is so good, they don't have to commit as much as other teams do to blitz in order to get pressure. They can depend on that front 4 at times to get pressure so that they've got another player out there, be it a linebacker or a safety, that they can assign somewhere else. And in this case, you may be having to have somebody, maybe a linebacker or a safety, shadowing Bryce Perkins. Likely going to be a linebacker, but you have got to keep this dude under wraps, because if he gets going and he starts opening it up with his legs, and then that's going to lead to him opening up, throwing downfield on the run. Well, DC defense would be in trouble at that point, but I don't know if it's going to come that easy for Michigan. Man, give me a second, y'all. It's a little cold in here. I got the AC blasting because it's freaking 99 degrees outside, probably 100 by now. It is that time of year. Yeah, that's right. So now, man, I do look tired, huh? It's been one of those weeks, man. I'm just tired. I'm gonna go in and take a nap. You know, luckily this ain't live, because at some point I'd be like, people texting me, be the comments full of, "Hey, wake up, fool, stupid." Sorry, guys, man. I start rambling. I need another drink, though. Throat is a little bit hoarse, but so now, what about Michigan's defense, though? Obviously, Jordan Ta'amu is somebody that they are going to key in on. I mean, and that because Jordan, what he's going to do is he's going to pass the ball, but he's that guy that, man, just when you think you have the pass game locked up and your pass rush is going to get to him, the dude finds a way to escape the pocket and run for 13 or 14 yards, picking up a big first down on the 3rd or 4th down. That is what Jordan Ta'amu does. This season, he has been able to come in clutch when they need him, you know? And they're going to need that from him. I really feel like he can probably get away with passing for under 200 yards this game if his run game helps him out. So they're gonna have to give him a hand, man. But Michigan's defense, they're gonna be ready. This is gonna be a great game. I really want to watch this game. I'm actually really excited about this game because as a football fan, I feel like this is just gonna be a very entertaining game. I just wish they would have put this game on Sunday, on Father's Day. Like after that, like, you know what? Make it a Father's Day thing until you extend the season. I think that would be so cool. Like we have Super Bowl Sunday, things like that. You know, they got games on Christmas. Why not, for of all things, a football game, a professional, yes, it's professional football game on Father's Day? Have on in the background, or maybe y'all into UFL and you're watching it. I think that would be cool. I wish they would have put it on Father's Day, but it's all good, man. These players are going to go out there looking to win either way, and it's going to be a great game. So y'all be sure to tune in this Saturday. I think it's going to be on ESPN and ABC. Might be on Fox. I don't know. I should have checked. I know, but like I said, man, I'm struggling this week. Okay? Been a long week, man. So that's the one thing of all my little notes here that I did not get was the channel it was going to be on. Damn. Y'all can Google it. Just look it up, all right? Look it up. Now, Aaron Rodgers, we talked about it a little bit. He's in Pittsburgh now. Okay. That's it, guys. Thank you for joining me this week on Gridiron Nation. No, seriously though, I don't think it's a big deal. I mean, I've seen some analysts and experts talking about, oh, this makes them a contender. Come on now. Come on. Y'all said that about the Jets also. And even me, when they was first when he was out there, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm kind of sold on the Jets because of the roster that he had around him that he was going into. While the Steelers have a good defense, I don't think the defense was as good as what Aaron Rodgers walked into with New York. There to support him, that defense. Yeah, they got DK Metcalf, but they let Pickens go, so they could have had a crazy 1-2 combination there for him. Instead, it's Metcalf and then just a bunch of dudes y'all never heard of, unless you're a Steelers fan. And I don't know, man. I think the defense is good, but are they elite? I don't know. I don't know about that. But we do know Najee Harris is gone, so Jalen Warren's going to take on the load supposedly this season. We'll see. Either way, I feel like this isn't a big deal. Like, he doesn't make them a contender. I'm sorry. Like, some of the media is trying to convince y'all that this makes the Steelers a contender. No, it doesn't. They're going to win games either way. They're going to be competitive because Mike Tomlin is their head coach. And y'all know how much I love and sing the praises of Mike Tomlin. But Aaron Rodgers, to me, I think he showed now, in New York when he was healthy, he's just not the old Aaron Rodgers. Okay. Yes, threw for over 3,000 yards, 3,897 yards, which was 8th in the league. Okay. 28 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, good ratio there, 90.5 rating. But 5-12 record. And when you have that kind of team around you, you were expected to come in and lead this team. So when your team is 5-12, of course we're going to look to you. You're the quarterback. No, the quarterbacks get credit for the Super Bowls, right? They get bashed if they don't win the Super Bowls. Wins, losses are all on the quarterback. Now, we all know, as real football fans, know that that's not true. But I'm being a smart ass because that's the way everybody looks at it. All right. So even with going just under 4,000 yards and with 28 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, whatever, the dude was still 63% in pass percentage. Okay. That is the 4th lowest in the league last season. So regardless of what the yards tell you, dude's percentage was trash. It was bad. 4th lowest in 6. Wow. What is he? 16 seasons, 7 games played. Oh, I'm sorry. I said the 4th lowest in the league. And I actually meant to word that different. It was the 4th lowest in his career. And that's why I'm saying with the 16 seasons of more than 7 games played, because he had a couple of seasons, of course, the injury seasons, and the first 1 or 2 seasons in his career where he didn't play a lot of games. So those don't count. But all the other seasons, everything, this was the 4th lowest passing percentage that he's had. He's getting worse. Steelers don't see that. Well, they do. But what else? What other choice did they have? Let's be real. Steelers didn't have much of a choice. Who's going to be their quarterback? I'd trade it for Jameis or somebody if you're going to do this. I mean, I guess Aaron Rodgers, I think his deal is fully guaranteed, $10 million. It's got a max value of 19.5. That's with incentives, obviously, based on the amount of time he plays, whether they get to the playoffs, and if that happens, how far they get in the postseason. So the max that it can get to is 19.5 million, 10 million guaranteed. Sorry, I said fully guaranteed, but it's not. 10 million of it is guaranteed. 13.65 million is the total of the agreed contract, minus the incentives. So I don't know, Steelers fans, man. How y'all feeling right now? What you guys think? You think this makes you a contender with the talent that's there? I don't see it, man. I mean, in DK, we all know DK. If he starts going soft like he does at times, which really annoys me because of how big the dude is, he should be dominating every play of every single game. He should be this generation's Calvin Johnson. But he doesn't. So we know we've seen him we've seen him just get dominated by smaller DBs. It's weird to me. So what happens when that starts going down and he's not making catches and their effort isn't there? We know Aaron Rodgers. We already know about his ego. I mean, I don't even think dude's heart is in it this season, if I'm being real. Because first of all, we didn't like he was just like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna come back and play. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I'll let y'all know. Well, maybe. And now they're trying to say, oh, they had a deal all along without telling anybody. Yeah, right. So I don't think his heart's in it. Um, and if his heart's not in it, if your quarterback's heart is not in this, don't matter how much talent you got around him, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen for you. And they could have had a lot better talent around him. I don't know, the pick and trade, thank you, but I mean, I get why they did it, but still, imagine if he was walking into a situation with both DK and Pickens, that's when I'm like, okay, well, maybe, but now I'm like, nah, they're gonna happen. That defense is gonna have to win some ball games for them once again. So, but I don't know how's it gonna work with Aaron Rodgers and his ego and Mike Tomlin. I mean, Tomlin was already like, okay, we need to get rid of George Pickens. Okay, you may have just bought a little bit bigger ego. Actually, I think you did just bring a bigger ego into the locker room. Okay, maybe they'll get along. You know what the thing is if they win games, they're gonna get along. The key is gonna be when they start losing games. Like let's say they run off like two in a row, two losses, and like the second one is like really ugly. Because that's generally when teams and players start to point fingers. Media starts flaming, fanning those flames too. So what happens when because I it's gonna happen. It will. It will. I have a feeling the Steelers at some point will lose like two in a row, and then we're gonna see what's gonna happen. So I don't know, man. Let me know what you guys think about the move. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I just realized that thing was on there the whole time. Because I don't watch my screen. I watch you, the camera. And so I was like, well, I'm talking about the Steelers. Yeah, well. Anyways, so yeah. But I feel like this Aaron Rodgers move is just going to be one that is like a placeholder. That's why it's only for 1 year. And they're like, well, let's just see. But I have a feeling that this could be the first year that Mike Tomlin has a losing record with this team. Maybe just like by like what am I thinking? Like I don't know, 8-9 record, something like that. Something like that. Man, that's why what I wanted to say earlier when I talked about them, about the media kind of blowing this up and some of them saying, oh, this makes them a contender. I mean, come on, man. First of all, in that division, okay, let's forget about the Browns. Let's do that. But you still got to deal with Joe Burrow in that offense. Okay. Granted, the defense, yeah, I know. But still, you're going to have to outscore Joe Burrow in that offense. It's going to be hard to do. And then, of course, Baltimore. I mean, Baltimore still reigns supreme in that division. So Lamar Jackson's still going to be a problem for you guys. They got D-Hop there now, veteran. Um, of course, Derrick Henry, he's going to still be a problem. So they got to worry first about being a contender in that division. Aaron Rodgers, to me, still doesn't put them above Baltimore. He doesn't. And then you look at what's the next step. Okay, it's winning the AFC. It's beating the teams that you're playing outside of your division, but within your conference during the regular season. Now, I wish I had had the foresight to bring up a schedule for them, but you know what? Let's look at this. I'm not going to have it on the graphic here, but I can use Google really quick and bring that up right now because I don't have a producer here to do all this stuff for me. So let's see. All right. So the Steelers' schedule going into the regular season. Got that little Jeopardy music playing because I'm waiting. All right. Here we go. All right. So week 1. Jets right off the bat, man. Oh, you've got Justin Fields coming to town. Actually, you're going to their house. Well, I'm going with the Jets in that one. I what am I crazy? I don't know. That's gonna be a tough one. You know what? I'm not gonna pick. I'm not gonna pick. Don't do that. Gabe. Don't do that. They got the Seahawks. That's an NFC. But the Jets won't be an easy AFC game. The Patriots are interesting. Um, a lot of buzz picking up about what this team could be this year. We'll see. Stephon Diggs, can he bounce back? Maybe. So that may or may not be an easy game. I mean, it's going to be on the road at Gillette Stadium, so should be interesting. But then they got the Vikings, and then there's the Browns, and then there's the Bengals, and you got the Packers, NFC. Then you got the Colts. I would expect the Colts to be a problem. Then you got the Chargers. Yeah, that could be one. That could be a tough one. That could be a tough one. Then they got the Bengals again, Bears, NFC. Then you got Buffalo. Mm, no, mm-mm. No, I don't see it. I mean, maybe they're going to be at home. Steelers are, but that's going to be a tough non-division AFC game because then they got to go back to back. And in Week 14, right after playing the Bills in Week 13, they got to travel to Baltimore, take on the Ravens in Week 14. They got the Dolphins. We still don't know what about the Dolphins. They got the Lions, the Browns, and the Ravens to close out the season in Week 18. So not going to be an easy task for Aaron Rodgers coming into this. Best of luck to him, I guess. But if I'm being real with you guys, whether you agree with me or not, reach out to me. Let me know. Hit me up on the socials. Hit me up on the Gmail and let me know. Aaron Rodgers, does he make the Steelers a number one contender? Like not a number one, but a top contender now coming out of that division. See this little thing I put on this little banner on the screen. I should have had that up the whole time, right? I know. Told y'all. I'm tired. Right. Or does he not? Does he not make a difference? Does he make them worse? I mean, at least Russell Wilson and Justin Fields were able to win some ball games, right? What happens if Aaron Rodgers comes in and they drop two off the bat? Whoa, that'll be fun to talk about. Make it happen, football gods. Make it happen. Okay. So, hey, anyways, y'all, be sure to hit me up on my socials once again on Instagram, G Garcia _ Gridiron, Facebook, Gridiron Nation, and the number one. On TikTok at Garcia.grid, on YouTube, Gridiron Nation Podcast. Is that it? That's it, man. And y'all show your boy some love. And let me know what you guys think, man. If you're ready for the UFL game this weekend, let me know. Reach out to me. Let me know what y'all got going on for Father's Day. And of course, what you guys think of Aaron Rodgers to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Good, bad, doesn't really matter. Hit me off. Let me know. All right. It's about that time for me to get up out of here, fellas and ladies that listen to the show. Sorry. But again, as I close the show, always with a message this week, it's going back to the Father's Day theme. Um, and I'll get serious for you guys here for a little bit. First of all, let me start by saying I am proud to be a father. And I really wish now that I'm older, when I had my kids, when I was, when Angel came and I was 20 years old and then, afterwards, Marisa came, and then Gabriel a year later. It was just like I didn't really know what it was like to have to be a dad. Everybody's like, "Oh, I'm going to be a great dad," but when you're actually in it, it's hard. It's hard. Parenthood, period, is not easy because kids are not easy, and it's not meant to be that way, man. But it is the greatest challenge in life is to be a parent. And I think we can all agree on this. The greatest challenge in life is to be a parent. But as a father, I can honestly say that it has been my greatest privilege. It has been the greatest gift, the greatest blessing to be a father as well. Greatest challenge, yes. Some of my probably greatest stresses have come from being a parent. But that's because we care so much about doing the best that we can. And as a father, all I want to say is to all of you guys out there that are dads, I just want you to make sure that you go easy on yourself. It's the message I said last week when I said cut yourself some slack. We're not going to be the best of fathers all the time. We have our bad days. We have our great days. Just try to make sure that the more we learn as we go along, that you let those great days outnumber the bad days. All right. Because I really feel that when I was younger, I didn't know. I didn't know what it was like to be a dad. And that's just for personal reasons, you know. But it wasn't until later in life, man, that I really learned and had to look back and say, okay, I should have done so much better, you know. And now with Lily, I've been able to take that, and I was determined to say, I'm going to lock this one down. I am going to be a great father. And I have tried my best. I feel that I'm doing a great job. It's not perfect. Hell no. It's not perfect. I'm not perfect. But that's okay. Because we still learn every single day, guys, just like you still learn on your job every day. When you stop learning at whatever it is you're doing, especially parenthood and fatherhood in particular, then I mean that means you don't care anymore. When you don't see it, when you're not willing to learn from it anymore, you don't care because parenthood, there's no perfect parent. I'm sorry. So there is no stopping of learning. Even when your kids are older, you're still learning how to come at them as a parent because they change as they get older. Their personalities change, you know, their likes and their needs and their dreams, all that stuff changes. And the way they interact with you changes as they get older. So as a parent, you have to learn as a father what kind of father to be, to evolve to based on how your kids are growing, man. I mean, I hope that that's not too deep for any of you guys, but it's just I'm very proud to be a father, and I'm very proud of all of you guys out there that I know that are fathers that are busting your asses every single day. Step parents, man. Hey, I pulled into this role as well. Those are my kids. You know what I mean? Yeah, they have their dads, but they're also my kids. It's the way I see it. And for those of you out there that are step parents, also stepdads that have taken on that role, damn, big ups to you guys, man. Big ups to you guys. So, from the bottom of my heart, all I want to say is again to all of you fellas out there that are dads, man, doing your thing. Happy Father's Day, fellas. I hope it is an amazing one for you guys, man. So I am out of here, familia. Hey, but you already know I'm going to be back, not next week. I've decided I'm going to come back to you guys every 2 weeks until we get into the NFL season. Okay, and then once the NFL season comes, I'll go back to weekly. Unless something big comes out, I might throw on like a quick little 15, 20-minute show or something like that. But other than that, I'll see you guys in 2 weeks, man. Y'all be sure to hit me up on my social media accounts again. Shoot me something in the Gmail, gridironnationpodcast@gmail.com. I am Gabriel Garcia. This is Gridiron Nation. No matter what life's going to throw at you, fellas, no matter what it does, ladies as well. But I feel like I'm talking to the fellas this week because I've kind of focused on Father's Day this week. Life's not going to give you anything perfect. We know this, man. It's going to come at you every single day. It's going to come at you strong. It's going to come at you in a weak way. It's going to come at you quietly, or sometimes you see it coming. Whatever it is, whatever it does, as soon as it gets in your way, though, you're going to get knocked down. But what you're also going to do is you're going to get back up. You're going to brush yourself off, like I know every one of you can. All right? And then you're going to assess the situation, whatever it is. You're going to find a way around it. You're going to find a way over it or through it. You're going to adapt. You're going to evolve. Because in the words of the great Bruce Lee, you guys already know it. All you've got to do is be water, my friends. I am Gabriel Garcia. This is Gridiron Nation. Happy Father's Day, y'all. Have a safe one and have a beautiful one. I'm out. One love. Peace.
Always lyrically blessed, eating all my competition for dinner, cause I'm a winner. Sometimes my heart is sick, but inside lurking a sinner. Better come with a plan, I got my fans in the stands. If you don't know, well, they gon' tell you Wicked One is the man. Who gonna let them know the power coming?